morning. Hi, everybody. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Is it still morning? No, it's afternoon. I don't know about you, but I'm having that problem myself of just keeping track on, is it morning? Is it afternoon? Am I supposed to be sleeping? Why am I eating so much? So many different things that are going on. And so I just wanted to jump on today and just have a chat with you about kind of a difficult subject. So I'm gonna let a few more people jump in right now, but I wanted to, I've been trying to be very conservative about how much I jump on, because I know we all have so much screen fatigue. Everybody's looking in screens and cameras all day long and looking at phones all day long. And, I kind of been careful not to put out just too much content just for content's sake. But I had to jump on. Today because I'm seeing so much bad information. And I wanted to talk about a really hard subject that I think some of us are not really ready to talk about yet. So, of course, here comes Denise jumping in the chat about it. Here's the reality, people. Now that the stimulus bill has been finalized, we're seeing kind of what money is going to be coming to individual Americans. We're seeing what the resources are. I think it's time to really take stock and figure out what you're going to have to do for your family. And when I say that, I mean, some of us approach money. We have a different relationship with money. Some of us is more healthy than others. Some of us not so healthy. And we're in a situation where there's a lot of uncertainty, right? And we don't all know like what to do, how to handle it, what next steps to take. So I wanted to jump on and really just talk about what are those next steps in my estimation. So as we contemplate kind of what our situations are, no matter where you are, whether you have been laid off, whether you were unemployed before this, whether you are a college student getting ready to graduate and you don't know what's going to happen in terms of employment, whether you are at your job and you're fine today, but you're worried if they're going to lay people off, 2 weeks from now, all of us have got to take on an entirely different level of vigilance as it relates to our money. And let's be honest, there's a percentage of us that are head in the sand people, right? And you know what I mean. We're just not opening the bills. We're just going to ignore it. We're just going to wait and see what else happens, who else is going to help, who else is coming. And I want you to understand that no one else is coming. It's up to you to figure it out. And I wanted to share a couple specific things that I'm doing, and I think it might be helpful to you. A friend of mine suggested that I share these things with everyone because, quite frankly, they just would be helpful. So this is my outlook when it comes to money, right? I am a steward, and every dollar is a soldier. Every dollar that I have right now, every dollar that's coming in, every dollar that's going out, I have to be vigilant about where it goes and what it does, right? So to that end, a lot of us, I don't know about you, for my business, I had so many speaking gigs cancel. I have had my business really financially challenged by this quarantine. And guess what? I'm not complaining because I want to live. I want my mom to live. I want my friends' moms to live. I want my friends' kids to be safe. I'm totally fine with it. But it is a financial challenge and we're all going to be facing it. And the question is, when are you going to face it? Are you going to face it today under your own terms? Or are you going to face it 2 months from now when your house is in risk of being repossessed? Right? And the truth of the matter is that we all have decisions to make and we all have some power. So like I said earlier, every dollar is a soldier, right? Everything that you're doing, you might have been on autopilot and just kind of spending money in ways that you just weren't really conscious of and aware of before. And I want you to use some of your energy. You got some time, most of you at home, hopefully, to really look at your finances and really engage them actively, right? And what do I mean by that? Some of the things that I suggest, if you have student loans, call and put them in deferment, in forbearance. I think they're doing a forbearance of 3 months right now, but the bill that's in front of the Senate right now is 6 months, no interest. That's just free money, right? Just to give you a little bit of breathing room to ascertain like where you're gonna go, okay? Another place to be effective, reach out, if you have a mortgage, reach out to your mortgage holder. Are they allowing a forbearance? Are they allowing a pushback? Even if you still have your job, even if you're in good quote unquote stability position with your employer, I would still do it. Take that cash and make sure you're rerouting that to credit card debt. Credit card debt is another place that's an opportunity. Call all your creditors and say, hey, can I get some relief on interest rates? Can I get some relief? People didn't think that I could just call my mortgage broker, my mortgage lender, and just say, hey, can you give me a forbearance? They were surprised I was able to do that. People want to help you survive this time. But what you don't need to do is to be on, ordering, candles and bath salts and comforting things on Instagram, on Amazon right now, or shopping online unnecessarily. And I do want to support local businesses, and it's important to order food. I get that, but I also understand that that's a luxury that not everybody can afford. Some of you need to bust out some cooking shows. Kelly Caravias is, if you're not following her, you should be following her. She's doing really great cooking tutorials to teach you how to cook and how to prepare. One thing about our budgets that we've seen is now we don't have the beauty expenses, the going to the hair salon, the going to get your eyebrows arched, the going to get your nails done, going to get your hair done, all of that. We don't have that anymore for this season. So that's a little budget relief, right? We also don't have the eating out as much as we've been doing. But we need to make sure that we're looking at every single dollar as a soldier. How much money do you have? Where is it? I went through my statements for the last few months and I looked, wait a minute, do I have any drainage? I had a $12 bank charge that they were charging me because I get my bill in the mail. I called them and said, can we take that off and discontinue? I went through and looked at everything that I had an automatic debit for, things that maybe I had signed up for, a subscription service, anything that has an automatic renewal. You need to review it. If you have to go back a year and see, wait a minute, what bills are due this year? What memberships that automatically renew? Take stock of everything that you've got going on, and not from a position of panic, but from a position of strength, right? Every dollar is a soldier. I'm the general. I've got to figure out where every single dollar is going. If you do that, then I think it gives you a great sense of comfort. It does for me when I realize that just by making a couple calls, I bought myself breathing room. Right? So we talked about car insurance. We called our car insurance company, or we have our car and our home security with the same company. And we said, y'all need to send us a proposal tomorrow, or we're going out to the market to look for a competitor because we need to reduce we have to reduce our expenses. We called the cable company. And we said, we need to cut down this package. HBO isn't as valuable as it was before. We have Netflix. We have other ways. We have Amazon Prime. So I need to get this ridiculous cable bill down. And Zinga says, I got a new fridge 2 days before the school closed, and I am support staff. Not sure of how we will get paid. Haven't got my first bill. Should I call them about my bill? Yes, you should call everyone. And yes, you're going to be on hold. Yes, it may take a little while, but you have the time to spend. Call everyone, figure out where you stand, nail everything down to the bare minimum that you can do, because you don't know if this is going to be 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. We just don't know. And the information is really unstable and unpredictable. And quite frankly, some of it is unreliable. And I don't want you to be like a baby bird waiting for somebody to come along and drop wisdom into you and tell you what to do. I want you to take control of your opportunities and your opportunities to reduce expenditures, right? Does that make sense? So some of the things, just to recap, we've already talked about. I called my mortgage lender and I got a 3-month forbearance, interest free. I called student loan providers. We called our credit card companies and asked for a reduction on interest rates. We called our car insurance company and asked them for a proposal of a different lowered rate. Let's look at our coverages. Let's look at what we got going and see where we can tighten up. We looked and reviewed all of our bank statements for fees, for automatic withdrawals, memberships, things that maybe you didn't even think about. Wait a minute, I'm a member of the blah, blah, blah association, and it's going to pull out $4.95 on April 15th. Like, go in and really take a look at that stuff, right? And just take control of it, right? Just take control of it. It doesn't have to happen in a spirit of panic and frustration and worry. It's just taking control. It's just taking the time to dial in and to figure it out, okay? And I know it's really anxious right now. It's an anxious period. People are really starting to get worried. It's like there's two camps. There's like a camp there's just la la la, they're just watching Netflix all day, and there's a camp that's worried and is in this like what I call productivity porn. Be careful about that. You don't have to write the great new novel because you're in lockdown. You don't need to, reorganize every closet in your house. Beware of productivity porn. Be productive in the places that really make a difference, right? Tempest says, same with electricity. People can go to Power to Choose and sign up for a new plan with a lower rate. I didn't even think about that because guess what, guys? Wait till next month's bill. Being home all day, kids home all day, everybody's on devices, everybody's on everything. Our utility bills are going to be through the roof. And I live in Texas, so it's already starting to heat up. So you might want to say, okay, new rule, everybody. The thermostat can't go over X point, every day. We can't be sitting in here and it's on 69 all day long. And and it seems like that may feel like it's too soon to be making those measures, but the people that make those kinds of decisions and take those kinds of measures are going to be a step ahead of everyone else. And let's say, best case scenario, this all works out. It's wrapped up in a month and we all go back to work. So you save some money. It didn't hurt anything. Nothing has changed. I can put HBO back on. But for right now, if you think of every month think of the money that you have as an egg, and you're just carving out of it. You're carving out of it. Well, wait a minute. You have to slow the rate, slow the consumption, slow your burn rate so that even if your income is unstable, you're still able to kind of operate under a baseline productivity. So get ready to have conversations with all of these providers. And for those of you that are just joining, I want to repeat what I've said. 1, start cooking. I love to eat out too, and I'd love to support local businesses. And if you are financially able to do that and order out a bunch of meals, great. But I know my mom, when we grew up, my mom was a single mom of 3 kids. She couldn't have ordered out every meal. She had to cook. We would have had to get in here and make whatever we got to make, right, to make it work out. And try to incorporate fresh food, apples, bananas when possible. Make sure you're having vegetables and fruits that are rich, vitamin dense, because you need to be healthy. That's how you're going to protect your immune system. Good diet and good exercise. 2 things that are kind of hard to do right now, but you got to make that a priority. Okay? So follow people, go on YouTube and figure out who's doing really great cooking tutorials, who's teaching you how to make stuff from scratch. I know a lot of us don't cook. You have groceries. Most of us went and stocked up. Are you cooking? Don't let food go bad. Don't throw stuff away. Cook it, freeze it. If you don't know how to do it, jump on YouTube and take classes and look at videos that show you how to do that. It's really important because we just don't know what the financial implications are going to be for this period. And I think, it's going to be before COVID and after COVID. If you come out of this and your credit is intact, and you haven't fallen behind on your bills, you're going to be a step ahead of the vast majority of the population of the United States. And that's no exaggeration. So call your credit card companies. Can they reduce interest? Call your mortgage company. Can you get some forbearance for a few months and to reroute that money and maybe pay off credit cards, high interest credit cards, and get those off of your deck? Call your student loans. Right now it's 3 months forbearance with no interest. The current bill says 6 months with no interest. That's amazing, but you have to call to ask for that. So make sure you're calling or going online if you can do it online. I'm not sure if you can request it online. I hope so. Your car insurance. We called our car insurance, house insurance company, and we said, we need a proposal for a lower rate. Do we work your magic, or we're going to go into the market and we're going to shop with other providers because we're trying to reduce every single bill. Bank fees, going through all of your bank statements for the last few months and seeing, do you have any automatic withdrawals? Do you have anything that's a recurring charge? Or maybe you're a member of an organization and it's gonna hit $4.95 on April 15th and you forgot about it. Be careful and really dial into those things. And that's not fun. It's not sexy. Some of us are scared of money. Some of us are so anxious about what's gonna happen that we'd rather put our head in the sand. And what I'm saying to you, this is my loving reach out, give you a hug, give you a gentle shake, like tell you I love you and say, you can do this. You can do this. Go through all of your finances and really look at just what it is. You know, we have a car I'm thinking about putting up for sale. I don't know who's going to buy it, but I'm looking at every single charge, every single one that we have to make sure that we have thought it through. And be in communication. The other temptation is to not talk. It's to sit in your house by yourself and be scared to death. It's to not pick up the phone and call. It's to not pick up and understand. Like, do you understand what's going on with the new stimulus bill? Do you understand when those finances will hit? Do you understand, like, if you own a business, how you apply for these disaster loans? You got to open up your mouth. You got to raise your hand and say, ask, can you help me? You have to ask for help, wherever that help may be. And if you got to know, DM me, send me a direct question about maybe verbiage. What did I say? I'm happy to share that information. But basically, we freed up thousands of dollars over the course of the next few months just by a day of phone calls, right? And I just want to encourage you and empower you that you are in charge of this period, right? You are in charge of you. You're in charge of your household. And so it's up to you to make sure you're exercising, you're eating well, you're sleeping, you're drinking water, you're taking care of yourself to fortify yourself and your immune system. That's priority number one. And then two, you're making every single dollar a soldier. Every single dollar is a resource. Okay? So I know it's a lot to take in, and I hope I don't come across as preachy or scoldy. I'm not. I want to really encourage you to take control of your finances right now and not wait another moment. Get off this live right now and start making phone calls, calling cable companies and reducing packages, calling utilities and making sure you have the right plan. Can you compare plans? Calling your banks to make sure there's no unnecessary fees. Reviewing your bank statements to make sure that you don't have any automatic withdrawals that you maybe forgot, or automatic monthly withdrawals like a subscription, or a service like a membership that's going to pull $500 out of your account that you weren't planning for. Calling your student loans, calling just all of them, all of it. Every single expense that you have, this is the time to go through and systematically review it and chop it down. I like HBO as much as the next person, but that's $60 off my bill if I take off all the movie channels. If you reduce some of the packages, we have some cable boxes. Actually, we're going to send them back because there's only 2 of us in the house. We don't need as many as we have, right? Going through and really looking at what you have, what you're paying for every month, and seeing if there's a place to cut. Every single place there's an opportunity to cut it. You won't regret it. And if a few months from now we're out of this and it's all good, you just saved some money. It didn't cost you anything. But I think if you prepare now, you will have less panic later. So that's my thoughts for the day. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope you are keeping positive. And I used a phrase earlier in this session that I really want to reiterate. Be easy with the productivity porn. I call it productivity porn. That's what I said. You don't have to write the great next novel. You don't have to clean up every cabinet in your house. Some of you are having trouble getting out of bed. And I honor that. I honor the place that you're at. Some of you, the kids are climbing all over you. There are so many demands on you. And all of a sudden you have to be a teacher and you don't have any idea how to do that. So I just want to honor your journey. And I know I don't want you to feel like this is just one more thing that somebody is telling you to do. And I don't want to tell you things out of privilege, right? Because I understand. I have been where you are. Right. And more, and I'll talk about that in another live, another time. But I know the struggle. I know the challenge. And I want you to know that I honor that. And I just wanted to give you some tools to take control and to take power in this moment when we all feel so powerless. You're in charge of the soldiers in your house, right? You're in charge of the soldiers, and your soldiers are your dollars. So claw them back. Cut everything down as much as you possibly can, and tie a knot and hold on. You're entering an entirely different financial environment where we just have to be far more careful, far more thorough about how we manage our finances. And I want to encourage you to pick up the phone and make those calls. All they can tell you is no. Don't tell yourself no. I called my mortgage company and they gave me 3 months forbearance, no interest. And I don't know that you're going to get the same offer, but you don't know either until you try. Call your landlord and see what can we do about the rent. Is there some kind of amelioration we could do at this time? Call your credit card companies to see if you can reduce the interest. We gave our car insurance company a ultimatum of they drop our rates, or we're gonna go out into the market and shop. Call your cable company and remove packages. You get the idea? You can take control of this time if you're willing to. And it takes a little focus. And I know it's so hard to focus right now. But if you just spend a day or two making these calls and plowing through and thinking of it as I'm grabbing every dollar I can grab. I'm repositioning every single expense to drill it down to the smallest amount. Right? Alvin said, it's time to revisit our usual and go to a new usual. Pull the plug on subscriptions a month ago. Absolutely. And I think so many people are going to wait until they're in distress, 1 or 2 months from now before they take these measures. And I think the time is to take them is right now. Right now is the time. Okay. So I just wanted to get on here today and encourage you and send you some love and some light and a big hug, and make sure that you understand that you have more power than you know. You are more capable than you think you are. And I know that there's a lot of isolation, a lot of depression out there. This is hard. And I know people aren't telling you that. They're kind of saying, you could do it. This is a good time to remodel your extra bedroom. I'm not in that camp. This is hard, y'all. And especially moms at home, like now you're homeschooling kids and work. I don't know how it's amazing. It's amazing. So it's tough. And if we can be a resource in that, then that's all we want to be, because I understand that some of you don't have a lot of support, or maybe you're single moms. I was a single mom for a long time. I've only been married for 5 years. My daughter, we got divorced when Jamin was 4. And so I was literally a single mom for 20 years. So I'm not telling you something I didn't live. Right? And I'm just saying, years of that experience in an unstable financial environment, I want you to understand that you gotta right now cut everything, shut everything down that is not essential, and make sure that every dollar is a soldier. Okay? Sending you love and light. You guys have an amazing day.